What up, though? What's going on, y'all? What up? Let me turn this light on a little bit. I thought I was gonna be cool without it, but let me turn this light on a little bit. What's good, y'all? What's good? What's good? What's good? What up, though? What's up, everybody? It's Aaron Duncan here at the Necessary Bluntness Sports Talk. Recap and analysis of the Carolina Panthers is what I do here on the channel. So make sure you are subscribed if you have not. It's your first time watching. Welcome to the live stream post game. It's a little bit different than my regular videos. I feel like I need to explain because I know some people see my scripted videos and they think it's a little bit different from the live streams. The live streams, I like to interact with you guys. This is my initial post game reaction. Just kind of really a couple hours after the game, digest it, take it in, look at the box score, let the beers kind of settle in and do what they do a little bit and chill a little bit. But we're also sipping a little bit as we go. You know, I give y'all a drink every live stream that I recommend or whatever, and give my review on it. So here we are in this post game, and the Panthers, they lost to the Dolphins 42-21. I think this game script was a little bit different than anybody could have expected. I'm the most optimistic person out there. Some people may call me a homer. I've seen people online calling me a homer. I'd rather be called a homer, I guess, than just a hater and be obnoxious. You know what I'm saying? Because it is what it is. But this is the post game for the Panthers versus Dolphins. Panthers traveled down to Hard Rock Stadium to take on the Dolphins, the number one offense in the NFL, and they ended up going down, suffering 42 points surrender. They only put up 21, 14 by the offense, 7 by the defense. We will be talking about both sides of the football today, some key turning points in the game, and also about the coaching. We will break it down one by one. We'll probably start with one side of the football. Usually it's the offense, obviously, because the show is about Bryce Young. If you have not figured it out, Bryce Young is the reason for the season right now. We're 0-6 right now. Playoffs are probably out of the equation. We may play spoiler. We may want. We're gonna watch. I'm gonna watch the games at least. You don't have to. I'm gonna watch the games at least. So obviously things are the stakes aren't as high per se, but I think everything should be predicated on the health and development of Bryce Young. Like, that's kind of where we are. Like, and it's unfortunate. I'm not watching for us to lose, but I'm just not going to get too emotionally involved with this team at this point, just because I know where our limitations lie. I know what we're capable of. Even with injuries, I expect some different things, especially up to this bye week. My expectations were a little bit different. Now, if you want a little dose of hopium, buckle your seatbelt right now, because I got you. Because after the bye week, I'm just hoping for the best. I'm hoping for the best. I'm not going to lie. Get some people healthy. Maybe, fingers crossed, Frank Wright gives up play calling. Hopefully. But that's maybe a pipe dream. Regardless, we get some people healthy. We did lose some people today, but we expect Corbett back, so the offensive line should be better. We expect the defense to get back right, because maybe Xavier Woods, J.C. Horn is coming up close too. Maybe Xavier Woods, like I said, and Von Bell, we don't know his status. But maybe we'll get a little bit more competitive. There's some borderline teams that were drafting as high as we were coming up after the bye week. When we're talking about the Texans, the Colts, the Bears, you know what I'm saying? So we'll see what happens. But we're here regardless. We got to break this game down. Let's get into these comments, people. Raise my seat up a little bit. Who in here? Drop me a what up, though, when you get in here. Make sure you guys give the video a thumbs up if you have not. Please give the video a thumbs up. It really helps me out in the algorithm. Helps me get the word out and spread the word. Mr. Luke Cage, what up, though? Jamel, what up, though? Matar Lomax, what up, though? Said do a film review because Bryce looked good. I think so, too. We got Texans fans in the chat. These Texans fans so miserable. Like, I don't understand. As a Texan fan, why are you in the chat of the Panthers? Like, if you want, I can understand Bears fans coming to troll us because they get our first round draft pick. But, like, why are Texans fans trolling? Y'all won today. Y'all ain't got nothing better to do. Y'all have nothing better to do on a day that y'all win a game than to come and try to point fingers and troll. Y'all need help. Y'all need to do better, and y'all need some help. I'm just saying. If you're a subscriber, I guess I appreciate it, but like, why you got to troll on the day y'all won the game? He said, "They're in the countdown. We need to die." I gotta get my life together during the countdown. If y'all, I'm gonna show y'all one day behind the scenes, what I be doing during the countdown. I be running around scrambling. Omar, what up, though? What's up, brother? I said, how about the Hornets? Hey, it's preseason. Chris 2030, what's good, brother? What up, bro? What up, though? McFlurry, what up, though? I like that name. Drinking that Bojangles hard sweets. Hey, would you believe I still have 4 in my fridge? Would you believe I still got 4 of them in my fridge? Virus guy and Frank right now. Do you think Thomas Brown will play calling will be better? I think so. I think Thomas Brown play calling will be a lot better. It'll be look a lot more what you saw from today. We're gonna talk about that though. Shout out to the first super chat from my boy Mr. Luke Cage. Let me go ahead and get that round of applause. Round of applause. I appreciate my guy. He always come through for me. He one of the funniest dudes on Twitter that nobody really be knowing about. This dude is hilarious. He said, let's just get it out of the way. Everybody ain't built for this Panthers phantom. I'm done. Just take my money. Like I said, he one of the funniest dudes on Panthers Twitter that nobody really be giving the credit to. He keep me rolling in the comments on Twitter. Me and him be talking junk about the team, but it's funny. But I appreciate him, man. He my guy. What up, though? Nicholas Moore, what up, though? Tristan Morrison, what up, though? What's good, man? So you gotta keep running Chuba. Yup. Nicholas Moore, what up, though? What's good, brother? My boy Jared. Jared the real too. Jared been around for a minute. Me and him be chopping it up on Twitter too. I just retweeted him. He was preaching. About this team. He got some more. He said 19 day 2 or 3 draft picks, the last 3 draft, and fit has hit on like 2. New GM, please. Hey, and y'all know me. I don't, and I'm not even a fire fitter type of guy because I just don't see. To me, if you're gonna fire the GM, you got to fire the head coach. So I honestly, let's talk about it. I ain't gonna pull Jared comment down. Only reason I'm pulling Jared comment off the screen is because I'm gonna chop this up for short form content on like TikTok. Let's talk about it though. With Scott Fitter, like Jared said, I gotta give Jared credit. I'm gonna put it on wax too. Jared said that there's been 19 day 2 and day 3 picks by Scott Fitter in this regime. You can blame Matt Rule saying he had final roster say or whatnot, or whatever on the previous drafts. That's cool. But you got 19 day 2 or 3 draft picks and only 2 hit at the most. When clearly those are the picks that are the backbone of your team. Those are the picks that build your depth of your team. If we're not hitting on those, it's an indictment on the GM. You're saying we need to fire the GM. I'm not even going to say you're wrong about that. My personal thing is I don't think David Tepper is going to go the route of firing a GM without firing a head coach. However, I do think he's positioned himself with this all-star coaching staff that you have multiple guys with head coaching experience that if this thing gets too far outside of Frank Wright's realm or he feels like he's lost control of it, he could get rid of Frank Wright. You could promote Thomas Brown. You could promote Ejiro Evero. You can have Jim Caldwell, who actually interviewed for your head coaching spot, to step in that spot and keep things in place. You have Adrian Wilson, who is not a Scott Fitterer type of guy in the front office, but he also is probably the next man up in terms of a GM, not to mention he's a minority GM, so you get some Kool-Aid points there and potentially a draft pick because of the Rooney Rule. So you have guys in place behind the head coach and the GM. I personally, like I said, don't see David Tepper, as much as he is involved and likes to medal, you know what I'm saying, like an Olympic athlete. I don't see him doing the thing. He fired Ron Rivera and kept Marty Herney. Then he fired Marty Herney, kept Matt Rule. Then he fired Matt Rule, kept Scott Fitterer. I don't see him doing that hopscotch back and forth again. So I feel like if he's going to clean house, I think he needs to get rid of either both people at the top or literally everybody. I would say not everybody because I think there are potential all-star head coaches, rock star head coaches on this roster in terms of Thomas Brown or Ajiro Evero, or both. You could keep them together regardless. But I think that it would be tough to get rid of both. But I think that that would be the wise thing to do. That's why I feel like he may exercise some patience and keep both of them around. Unfortunately, I think he would just keep Scott around just off the strength of Scott is a very agreeable guy. He can work with anybody. That's why he was easy to get along with Matt Rule. That's why he was easy to get along with Frank Wright. He's a very agreeable guy. He doesn't put up a lot of objections. He likes to work with different types of people, which is probably why we have so many different parties, which is why he's been kind of a glue guy. But he's not this is my philosophy as a GM. This is what we're sticking to as principles. This is what I want my scouts to do. He's like a good guy that's just cool to get along with. And it's probably not a lot of shaking trees in the front office. I think that's the same issue with the coaching staff. I think there's so much respect and camaraderie amongst these guys since we have so much experience in big names that nobody is really shaking trees or shaking tables to be like, this is what we need to do. David Tepper may be leaning on Frank Reich as a head coach and owner, but I'm not sure if Frank Wright is leaning on his coaching staff, which is why we see so many mental mistakes in terms of I didn't know who was on the field in terms when I wanted to call this play, or I wanted to get so-and-so more playing time, but he didn't get in, or different kind of things that happen as a head coach, which is normally your responsibility of position coaches, but nobody's getting called out or held accountable in the media. But that's just my philosophy. It will be interesting to see how David Tepper approaches this. Like I said, that's my short form thing. But shout out to my boy Jared. That rate is crazy. You pointing out that hit rate, or is it a hit rate or a miss? Is it a hit rate or a miss rate when you 2 for 19? When you 2 for 19, it is a hit rate or a miss rate. It got to be a miss rate. But nevertheless, it's an indictment on Scott Fitter. It's an indictment on Scott Fitter. But I appreciate you guys tuning in. Please give this video a thumbs up if you have not. We got 130 people watching. I really appreciate all the eyeballs. 130 people watching. That's at least 260 eyeballs and only 37 likes. Because y'all got 2 thumbs just like I got 2 eyeballs. So I would expect about 130 likes. Close. Can we get some more likes on there, please? Pretty please. It don't cost you a thing. Only takes 2 seconds. But if you do want to support your favorite creator, ding, you can leave a super chat or Cash App or Venmo down below. Obviously, that's the best way to get your comment seen and answered and question answered if you have one. So please do that. It really helps me out on the independent grind. So we're doing that. Let's get into these comments. Yeah, thumbs up just came in. Nicholas LSK, what up, though? Just defense got to pick. Ooh. Who's getting traded after the bye? Good question. Texas Swarm. We don't care, bro. Texas Swarm, we don't care. Somebody said the Panthers make you appreciate the moment. Boomtastic, what up, though? Trill One, what up, though? Shout out to Stephen Curtis on the super chat. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate that. He said, at this stage of his football life, can Bryce still learn pocket awareness? If he keeps getting hit from behind, he won't last. His passing is superb. Listen, man. The crazy part is we live in such a we're in such a state where with the Panthers that we're accepting certain things. Like you shouldn't be. I mean, granted, yes, I would want Bryce to have some pocket awareness because once you hit that back foot, you can't sit in there all day. That's not happening. You have to feel the rush. But damn it, Ike Ekwonu, We drafted him top 10 for a reason. He's got to step up. He's got to step up. And he probably didn't have as bad of a day as Taylor Moton. Let's be real, Taylor Moton. We didn't have as bad a day as probably Taylor Moton. But we need Ike Ekwonu to step up. He's got to step up. Bryce has to feel that, but I mean, I appreciate him having trust in the O-line, I guess, and not getting happy feet in the pocket. The composure is what makes Bryce, but it feels like sometimes the lack of a pocket awareness is not pocket presence, it's pocket awareness, like you said, that like, bro, you're not going to be able to get away with sitting in the pocket that long. Like 3 seconds, bro. 3 seconds is not a long time. But once you get to 3 seconds, bro, you got to run, get out of there, or get rid of the ball. That's one thing he should have learned from Andy Dalton. If he ain't learned nothing else from that Seattle game watching Andy said, I'm not finna sit back here and chill. I'm getting rid of this ball. And that's what Bryce Young needs to learn, in my opinion. Just that pocket awareness, not pocket presence, because I think he has good pocket presence. He's cool in the pocket. It depends how protection goes in the game for the most part, but he doesn't let the rush affect him mentally and get skitty in there at times. There's been some up and down games on that front, but when the pocket protection has been solid, he's more than willing to trust the O-line on a down by down basis. But he does need to have pocket awareness. Like, even if you trust the O-line, bro, you got to get the heck on, bro. Get the heck out of Dodge, bro. The pocket is collapsing. Somebody's coming. You may not know where, you may not feel it, but somebody's coming. That clock got to speed up. Bro. It got to speed up. And so that's partially on him. It's partially on Ike Ekwonu. Appreciate you for the super chat, Steven. Appreciate you for the super chat. Today I'm drinking Samuel Adams Oktoberfest. This is not an advertisement. This is an endorsement, because I love, this is like the only like I don't really love Sam Adams. They did drop like a summertime one that's good, but Oktoberfest is literally their best beer that I have, in my opinion. I do got the Victory Monkey, Gold Monkey, but it was a little too strong for me last week. I had 2 of those in the first quarter today. Once I saw the Panthers were playing good, I drank 2 of those Victory Gold Monkeys, and that was good. I said, all right, I gotta dial it back on this buzz. Well, let's get into the comments, catch up a little bit. What up, Don? What up, though? Tyler Beatty. See, I need to finish off them Bojangles tees and get out there on the field. He got a friend to Coach Bryce. He ain't going to elevate defensive guru. He wants an offensive guy to coach. He wants to score points. Just letting Sanders go hurt the cap. No more undefeated teams. Yeah, exactly. All right, I think I'm caught up on comments. I haven't checked the separation chart. I don't know if it's up yet. Is it up yet? Yeah. Bryce don't look as quick as he was in college. I think he has to understand that everybody's fast, bro. And your speed is below average. Your speed is below average. You got to get out of there. Rails, what up, though? All right, let's get into it. So, offense. Let's start from the top. Where's the organ at? Let me turn on my lights real quick, first of all. I gotta turn on. I gotta turn on my lights to set the mood. I gotta set the mood. Y'all see that in the background? I gotta set the mood. There you go. Got the lights on in the background. Oh, Jared just tagged me in the separation thing. We'll talk about it. Oh, Lord. Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen, bro. That's crazy. Shout out to Jared. Shout out to Jared for tagging me. Shout out to James Dater. I'm going to put it up. But let's talk about the offense. I'll put it up on the screen. Oh, shoot. I'll put it up on the screen. Offensive wise, man, Bryce Young. You guys know what it is. Bryce Young. Another day at the office. Let's look at the separation. Shout out to James Dater. Shout out to James Dater. Yikes. So all right, so I gotta give the credit because Laviska did not run too many routes, but Laviska got 0 yards of separation. Everybody below average. Everybody below average on separation. Everybody below average on separation. Like look at the Dolphins. Tyreek Hill, 3.5 yards. That's Waddle in the right corner. That's Waddle in the right corner, FYI. It's cut off a little bit. That's Waddle in the right corner. 3.5. Berrios. Braxton Berrios is Christian McCaffrey's ex-brother-in-law or brother-in-law, whatever you want to call him. He was dating Christian McCaffrey's fiance, sister, something like that. He got 4.66. I don't even know what this is in the bottom left. Let me get some other pictures. Hold on. Let me get better pictures. So the separation, keep in mind, separation is calculated on your receptions. Separation is calculated on your receptions, not on you just running routes. So if you're open and Bryce misses you, that's what it is. What it is. That's what. Keep in mind. This is only when you get targeted. This is when you get targeted. FYI. This is not you just running your route every day and Bryce might have missed you when you were wide open on the post. So you got to provide a little bit of context. But this is crazy. Braxton Berrios, Smythe had their tight end had 3.77. Everybody. The league average is 2.94. And y'all want to put this on Bryce. And I understand. They sold y'all on Bryce being the most pro-ready prospect. But system matters. I'm here to tell you that the system matters. If you go watch C.J. Stroud's film, you can see that the system really agrees with his ability. You have an ex-Shanahan guy. He's a PFF guy, so he looks at analytics as well. But you can't tell me that looking at Tua's weapons and looking at Bryce Young's weapons, even if you don't like numbers, even if math makes your head hurt, look at the shapes. Look at the shapes. Look, I can't even point the right way. Look at the shapes. Look at the small little pentagon right here for the Panthers. And look at this pentagon. Look at this pentagon right here for Tua. Look at this pentagon here for Tua. The league average is 2.94 now. But like, come on, man. Look at what you go into. It's not even bringing a knife to a gunfight. You're bringing a super soaker to a war. It's like bringing a super soaker to a war. A water pistol to a gunfight. And this is no slight on my guy like Adam Thielen. Adam Thielen, he does what he does when he does. But like I said, Brian, there's no way that your rookie quarterback should have Adam Thielen as wide receiver 1. Like, let's be for real, man. Like, so y'all are, to me, if you're not seeing the progress from Bryce Young at this point, it's on you, man. Like, I'm not feeling sorry for you. You can go be a fan of the Texans and just root for CJ Stroud if you want to. You can root for the Colts and just cheer on Gardner Minshew to keep the team in order until next year when Anthony Richardson comes back from his injury, because he only played 4 games. Even though y'all told me that Bryce Young was too small for the NFL and he would get hurt, but the biggest quarterback that came out and got hurt, and not even a slight to Richardson, but we told y'all that size doesn't matter. We continuously told y'all that size doesn't matter. Bryce Young got drilled today a couple times. Hung in the pocket, took the hit, got back up, kept throwing. Anthony Richardson, they run him probably more than they should have, but not too much for me. I feel like Anthony Richardson, part of his game is to run. If you can't run Anthony Richardson, there's no point in having Anthony Richardson. Regardless, he's hurt now, and Bryce Young isn't right now. But Bryce Young is our quarterback. So if you're not seeing the progress on a week-to-week basis, something is wrong. Somebody said they brought a Happy Meal toy gun to a war. But like, come on, man. Like I said, even if you don't like the exact numbers, look at the shapes. Little old Panthers is shaped like, what is this? It's like shaped like this. I don't even know. It's like that. Like Panthers is shaped like this. Dolphins separation chart shaped like this. This is crazy. The discrepancy is nasty. It's nasty work, and it's malpractice. It's malpractice for your rookie quarterback that you traded up for. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to put people in position to succeed. But I can't even lie. This offense today looked a little bit different early on. Frank Wright, I don't know what got into him. All the stuff I've been crying and begging and pleading about, he did it. A lot more play action early on. We moved the pocket a little bit of variety in the run game. Went just duo and zone. We pulled Icky on a couple runs. Ran an outside pin and pull. Deep crossers to Thielen, Chark. I don't know why we don't run crosses more often. That's like the ultimate route in the NFL nowadays. It's a free 15 to 20 yards if you can get protection. We have speedy guys that can do it. Like I said, variety in the running game. No Ian Thomas and Miles Sanders. Chuba Hubbard was running like crazy. Tommy Tremble was hurdling folks. People was acting out of character. I don't know what they did last night in Miami. There's a lot of things to do in Miami. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm not speaking from experience. I'm just speaking. There's a lot of things to do in Miami at night on a Saturday. I don't know if they did it or they didn't do it, but them boys came out inspired. They came out inspired. We had dudes hurdling dudes. Chuba Hubbard was running that thing. Black shit was running that thing. Adam Thielen was just doing what he does, period. But like, defense was getting 3 and outs. Them boys came out inspired. I don't know what they were doing last night in Miami. Shout out to them, though. Shout out to them. Shout out to them. But yeah, the offense looked different. Offense looked different. Shout out to James E for the super chat. Appreciate you, brother. Said Bryce has really been improving. At first, I was doubtful, but I see it now. I'm worried we waste his talent over the next few years. Say it ain't so, James. Because we've seen that movie before with Cam Newton. We've seen that movie before with Cam Newton. We've seen this story before with Cam Newton, that we didn't get him weapons or protection on time. And then by the time we got the weapons, we had to get a new quarterback, and then we traded the weapons away. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. But Chuba and Blackshear, man, they're different, man, with the ball. And we talk about Miles Sanders. I don't want to beat up on Miles Sanders. I want to give more credit to the running backs that played today than beat up on Miles Sanders, because we talked about Miles Sanders and his injury a lot in the past. We've talked about it. But they grinded the run. We don't even need flashy run game. If we could run downhill and kill it, I would love it. But this is what we need. We need to pop a couple 9, 10-yard runs, ground out 4 yards here, 5 yards there, 6 yards there, be able to run outside, a little bit inside, get short yards when we need it. We just need an effective running game. Even though we have bad weapons, we're going to be a drop back team just because most teams are going to be better than us and outscore us. So we're going to be a drop back team at this point. And that's fine because Bryce is super accurate. We're going to be a drop back team, though. I think I've come to grips with that. Our running game is just good enough to keep us balanced. We need to be balanced. We can't be a straight drop back team, but we need to be balanced. We're going to be a methodical passing offense where we just throw hitches, RPOs, stuff like that. But we're going to be a drop back team. I think that's what our identity is going to be. It's going to be a drop back team. Now, what we do to open it up later on down the line, we'll see. But I think they have a lot of confidence in Bryce Young's brain and Bryce Young's accuracy and arm to be a drop back team. And so I think this version of today's running game, even though we lost, I think that's probably what, I mean, they would love to dominate on the ground, but I think that's what they want to be effective in the running game more so than just having something to lean on. As Bryce progresses, things will get better, but 4.3 yards per carry, 108 yards total on the ground. I think it's effective. Like I said, we ran when we needed to. We should have ran a little bit more, and I think Frank Wright missed some opportunities to run the ball, especially on that 2-minute drill before halftime when Eddie missed that field goal, which was huge. I think that missed field goal by Eddie was a backbreaker. I thought it was a backbreaker. Y'all know I've been much maligned against Eddie. I try to give credit what credit is due because he's been very accurate. But I think even though field goals don't win against the Dolphins, I think that field goal before halftime really hurt because the defense came out after the third quarter and forced a 3 and out. We got the ball right back. Let's say we have that confidence and them points on the board from there. We're only down 4. Things may be a little different. Not saying we're winning, but you get into the third quarter, deep into the third, into the fourth, your team starts believing, and the Dolphins start having some doubts because they came into saying like this could be a trap game because they play the Eagles next week. So I think missing those points before half really, really hurt for a team that struggles anyway. And that was the last chance this offense had at scoring some points in the game anyway. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, I think this is the version of the running game that we're going to see. I think this is the version of the running game we're going to see. Please give the video a thumbs up if you have not. I appreciate all the super chats thus far. Really, really appreciate it, man. All that support means everything for me, for real, for real. It keeps me going. It's independent grind. And it pays for my beers. It pays for my 6 packs of beers. So, and the beers help give me these Panthers takes. But shout out to Jesus Christ. Jimmy G went to the hospital. Woo! What's going on with him? I ain't watching the game. I'm gonna get out of here before the night's game, though. The O-line, though. The O-line looks a lot better when we can get the running game going and Chuba is like pounding it. Like Chuba is no nonsense. Chuba is no nonsense, bro. Miles Sanders goes out there and dances. Chuba is just gonna go downhill and drop his head. I've told y'all before. I got the good thing about making content and being a content creator and making videos is I have receipts. And I have receipts going back to Chuba Hubbard's rookie year when y'all said that he was trash, that he was going to be okay. I said that Chuba was going to be okay. He needed to add some weight. He needed to be able to fall forward. And he's done that, bro. And now he's running back one for our team currently. It shouldn't be like that. The same way that Thielen shouldn't be running back one, Chuba Hubbard should not be running back one. He's a very effective guy that should get some reps, is a great rotational back. And me being the champion and the captain of the bandwagon for Chuba, I will honestly say he doesn't need to be a lead back. He's a back. He could be in a rotation and be a running back two for any team. He has made himself into a running back two, but the fact that he's our running back one and Thielen is our running back, wide receiver one, is a problem. That just shows the deficiency that we have. And no slight to them because I love both of them dudes and they do their thing. Anyway, O-line looks solid, and I think when Chuba runs like that, I think the O-line feeds off that. It helps them in play action, obviously, but I think it helps them in pass blocking. It helps them in pass blocking because it wears the D-line down. It gets the D-line off balance, and we saw last year a great running game allowed our pass blocking and pass pro to be solid last year. So I think that running the ball consistently and effectively matters. Because Chuba Hubbard and Blackshear, they run like they got kids to feed. They run like they're looking for the bag. And nobody runs more motivated than a running back that wants to get paid. I'll gladly admit that. Nobody runs hungrier than a running back that wants to get paid. But you can see that Chuba runs like he has something to prove. He runs like he sees all y'all hating on him online, and he trying to prove y'all wrong. Blackshear is running like a guy that hasn't been active every week, and when he got a chance to be active, he tried to be effective. They run a lot more hungrier. Other running backs that we have, they dance. And not saying it's the money, because I know there's injuries, but they run. They don't run. He doesn't run as hungry as these other guys. He doesn't. And it's if you're a casual fan, you can see the difference in tempo from the running speed from our running backs. But I think the O-line feeds off that. It's the QB's best friend and the O-line's best friend. Taylor Moton had some struggles today, though. I got to point that out. Taylor Moton, I know Icky gave up that bad sack. It wasn't that bad, but he gave up a sack. But Taylor Moton, he was struggling at times today, misdiagnosing some blitzes. He's had some struggles at times against certain guys. He's had some tough matchups. Obviously, Aiden Hutchinson last week. He's had some tough matchups, but he had some struggles too. And it's unfortunate because the O-line wasn't like bad all day. They gave us some pressures at times, but I feel like the times that we're never able to marry the pressure and the protection with the route running. Somebody said it on Twitter, the Panthers can't really have anything in that match. Before we had weapons, no quarterback. We had quarterback, no weapons, or O-line. Last year we had O-line, no quarterback. Now the O-line can't protect, the receivers can't get open, or receivers can't get open, and the O-line ain't got time to protect. We ain't never got two things that match. If you know that video reference, shout out to you. But we ain't never got two things that match. But I like Bryce Young today, bro. Bryce Young looked poised, sat in the pocket, real cool. You know what I'm saying? Miami Bryce is what I call him. Bryce City, whatever you want to say. Real cool in the pocket. No turnovers, which was a big step. If you're not seeing the improvement from Bryce Young, you just never liked him. I'm telling you right now. As a Panthers fan, if you're still hating on Bryce Young, you never wanted him, and you just sticking to your guns. I don't know why. The progression is obvious. The lack of weapons is obvious. Like, come on. Nobody's going to fault you for coming on and supporting Bryce Young. He's your team's quarterback. if it's still your team. Nobody's gonna fault you for that. But the hate is crazy. It's crazy to me. And I've had my concerns from Bryce about like the lack of protection. The lack of protection, the receivers. Hopefully it doesn't do damage to him, like to the fact that he's just, you automatically get that damage in your brain that this is how it is. Then you start getting like, you start seeing ghosts because you start assuming stuff is going to be nobody getting open or pressure all the time when it's not there. Or you start missing guys that's open because you can't tell that they're actually open. Hopefully Bryce can take every drop back as his own, trust the system, trust the process, and not let this do damage. That's why I said we're not going to the playoffs, guys. So any kind of wins we can steal is cool because we don't have a first round pick. So let's root for wins. But the main idea has to be at this point, focusing on Bryce Young's development, looking for health so he doesn't get hurt, but also consistency, putting multiple good games together. There's only so much numbers-wise that you're going to see with the lack of weapons that we have. So you got to get some of them numbers out your head. Just go ahead and do it. But we need to see consistency from him taking care of the ball on a down-by-down basis, knowing the scenario on a down-by-down basis, not taking sacks when we're in field goal range, stuff like that, like game scenario stuff. Maybe if we get a 2-minute drill or a comeback opportunity win if we're down by one score in the game, just to see how he does in those scenarios, just to test his mettle. But there's only so much you're going to see numbers-wise from him his rookie year, so it needs to be about health and building his consistency. That's what it really should be about at this point. If you go into every week looking for that, it'll be a lot easier for you going forward. Because we don't have a ton of room for error in terms of wins and losses for this team. That's just the kind of the bed that we're in. I'm being realistic. I don't like it. I love the win. I would prefer a win. I don't think we go 0-17, but that's kind of what we're in right now. It's kind of where we are. Shout out to Flo, said he went to the game. I wish I could have been in South Beach. Go have a drink for me, man. I did see Icky stand up. Somebody finally stood up for Icky after he stood up for Bryce after he got hit late. Shout out to Icky finally. Somebody stood up for him because that was a BS late hit. I should have been a flag. Should have been a flag. Yeah, there are times that Bryce gets sacked on those 5 sacks or whatever, 4 sacks. Then he held the ball for a while. Guys got to get open. He has to get rid of the ball, but he has to stop thinking that he can trust these dudes. Like, bro, these dudes aren't going to get open the more you hold the ball. That's what I think Bryce's problem is. He may trust these guys too much. These guys aren't getting open. I'll put up the separation numbers. Look, Bryce got to stop trusting these dudes. They're not, the more you hold the ball, that's not going to mean they're going to get open. Holding the ball longer is not going to make them get open, bro. These numbers are trash. It's not going to make them get open anymore. You have to just get rid of it. You got to stop trusting these dudes too much. Sorry, Bryce. You may be the ultimate team guy. But, like, you got to stop trusting these dudes. You got to stop. The trust can't go beyond 3 seconds. The trust can't go beyond 3 seconds. I just had a separation chart up. I had it up, and I had it up earlier. The trust can't go but so far. But look at Thielen. Thielen is far and beyond the leading separation. Because Thielen, man, he got to stop trusting these dudes, bro. Get out of the get the heck out of there. Get out of there. Get out of there. Get out. Because they're not going to get open the more you hold the ball. I'm sorry. He got to learn that. It ain't going to happen. That's not how the NFL works. Not with these guys. So I think that it's only so much you're gonna be able to see with these weapons. But let me talk about Thielen. I got to give Thielen his spill. Look, I've been rooting for Thielen. My fantasy team is called Thielen myself. Thielen myself. I got to pat myself on the back for that play on words. Some of my best work. I'm not gonna lie. Thielen myself, like Beyonce and Nicki Minaj had that song. Thielen myself. Thielen myself. Yeah, so that's me. Thielen myself t-shirts will be going on sale soon and very soon. You heard it here first. Thielen myself shirts will be going on sale if you want. But Thielen this is what like, and shout out to my guy Monty from 4-Man Rush, because this ain't no diss to him. Me and Monty, that's my brother. We was in the trenches. We was in the trenches sweating it out at training camp, getting his content. But he made a comment. He was going back and forth the past few days talking about Thielen being force-fed the ball. I don't think it's force-fed. I just think Thielen may be the only guy getting open on a consistent basis that he can count on. But this is how wide receiver ones work. Wide receiver ones get plays called for them. They get the first looks most of the time. And when things are in doubt, you go to the wide receiver one. It's not Thielen's fault that he's the one that's getting open all the time. And like, I would call it force feeding if it kept being those screens like we were running before. But we haven't run like that many screens over the past 2 weeks to Thielen. Thielen is just wide receiver one. That's just is what he is. It's unfortunate because wide receiver one can fit different roles. Julian Edelman is not a top flight receiver in the league, but he probably was wide receiver one for Tom Brady for some years. So wide receiver one is just about what role you make him play. And Thielen played a lot more outside. I'll look at the numbers, but I feel like his snap percentage on the outside was a lot higher in Minnesota. So they felt like he was washed up. But if you put him exclusively in the slot like we do, Adam Thielen can still feast, because there's not a lot of great nickel corners in the NFL. So he understands leverage. He understands zone coverage. He understands knowing how to stem and stick guys to get open. Adam Thielen is a technician. Even if he's slow as molasses, he's a technician. So being in that slot is going to get open. Bryce Young loves the middle of the field, even though people said that he was too short to see in the middle of the field over the lineman. Bryce Young is heavily concentrated his attempts to the middle of the field. And so that's where he's most accurate and most confident. So him and Thielen that's hand in hand. Like, you got to give credit there for the front office bringing in a guy like Thielen, but he should not be the wide receiver one. But it's not his fault. It's just the bed that we've laid in with our GM having malpractice making Adam Thielen the top guy. Adam Thielen has never been a wide receiver one. He played with Diggs. It was kind of up and down at both of them or whatever as Diggs was developing. Then they got Jefferson. Jefferson clearly was the bona fide number one. Thielen was never the top number one receiver on the team, but he is now because he has to. And that's rookie malpractice for your quarterback. So it's not Thielen's fault. It's the front office's fault. It's the front office's fault. Sorry. That's on you, Scott Fitterer. Sorry. Shout out Thielen. Thielen myself. Like I said. Um, but I just know we it's been a while since we had a guy that fit a wide receiver wide receiver one role. So it's a little bit weird because I don't even think DJ Moore was treated like a wide receiver one. Wide receiver one, you almost do have to force feed him. You have to look at him. You have to draw up plays for him. You have to throw some smoke screens. If we do that to DJ like they do now with the Bears, they throw hitches and screens and stuff. You would see a lot more. You would have seen a lot more from DJ Moore. But we never gave him hella touches just to feed him on screens and quick screens and smoke screens. So it's been a while since we had a guy that fit that wide receiver one role that we just make up blatant ways to give him the ball. So I know wide receiver one looks very foreign to our fan base at this point because we just been starving for so long, which is still on the front office, guys. It ain't your fault. It's the front office fault. It's the front office fault. It's the front office fault. We limited penalties and turnovers. No turnovers. Shout out to that. Shoot. No turnovers. What were the penalties? Look at the box score right now. 3 penalties, 11 yards. Hold on. Give it up. Give it up. Give it up. I gotta get some Give it up for only having a few penalties. Oh my goodness. 3 penalties, 11 yards? Frank said it was going to be his best week of coaching, I guess. That's what he said. So he scared some discipline into these boys. Did he scare some discipline into these boys? Did he scare some discipline? I don't know. What I did like I got to give Frank his credit, man, because we had a lot more no huddle. The offense was doing things, like I said, that I've never seen before. Early on in the game, run the ball consistently, play action. We moved the pocket a little bit. We threw some dump offs off the play action. We saw a deep crosser to Thielen. We saw a deep crosser to Chark. Variety in the running game, pulling Icky on a couple runs. A tall sweep that we haven't seen. Chuba running, Blackshear running, mixed it up. Get a little LaVisca in there. These were things that were look very Thomas Brown-esque. These are the type of plays that you have to run that can help make up room in that talent gap. We haven't really seen a lot of those. So Frank did his thing today. I know some people have some conspiracy theories that Frank maybe not letting Thomas Brown call plays because he knows we don't have the personnel. He don't want hurt Thomas Brown's chances of being the head coach. That's a reach, but that's a reach that at this point, we got to try to make some sense out of it. But that's the type of offense I was expecting us to have. That's what I was expecting. A lot more no huddle. Bryce didn't huddle in college, so this is what he's used to. So, I like it. But let's get to the defense real quick, man. I'm trying to be brief. I don't want to eat into the Sunday night football game. I know it's going to be a blowout. Defense. Let's talk about defense, man. Because some of y'all are very critical. And I get it. We got to have higher standards. And I'm with that. But what are y'all expecting from this defense? I really want to know. What are your realistic expectations from this defense? Going against the number one offense today. What was your expectations? Because they had number one offense. We don't have the number one defense. Let me just tell you that right now. We're missing both safeties. We had a corner just come off an injury. We're missing our best corner. We're missing our most veteran and leader at linebacker. We got guys like DiCaprio Bootle, and Matthias Farley, and Sam Franklin III in our secondary. What were you guys expecting? to get multiple 3-and-outs in a row to start the game was more than I expected for the whole game. A 3-and-out to start the third quarter, more than I expected. The only thing that you can blame them for is missing tackles. When you're in position to make plays, make the play. But for some of y'all be like, oh, Drew Rivero is not the defensive coordinator that we expected. What did you expect with the guys we got? And clearly we don't have depth. We don't have any depth. We don't. So what did y'all expect? What did y'all expect? Like I said, the only thing, like you got with the number one offense, with an elite play caller and all that speed, some stuff is going to happen. You just got to shake their hand. Like Dante getting beat, shake their hand. The safety should have been over the top, so that's a miscue. But Dante, our fastest guy on our team, getting outran by the fastest guy in the league on a go route, shake their hand. Shake their hand. But missed tackles when you have opportunity to make plays, inexcusable. Dante Jackson, one or two of our lowest touchdown passes. You come on the corner blitz. You can't call a better to blitz somebody on a naked bootleg. A naked bootleg is when the quarterback fakes the handoff and boots out the opposite way with no protection. That's why it's called naked. You run it naked with no protection. We ran a blitz from the side that they have no protection with our corner, the fastest guy on the team. He takes a bad angle. When you blitz a quarterback, you have to blitz from the upfield shoulder. If the quarterback is like this in the pocket, the back shoulder is the upfield shoulder. If you come to the outside of his backside shoulder, he can't step around you and get outside. He can't. He has to step up. And when you step up, you can't retreat as fast. You can get him there and your help is there. Dante did not do that. Dante came too short and he went outside the back door and threw a touchdown pass. You can't draw it up better. So I don't understand. Like that could have been a sack fumble if he took the right angle. Or he's right there to his face. Tua tries to get rid of it. It flutters for a pick. Instead, bad angle. Tua keeps rolling out and hits him for a touchdown. And now they waddling in the end zone. What they doing to remember the Titans in the end zone. Because you can't do your assignments and do what you're coached. So you can blame coaching. But like, what else? What else? Skitty, what up, though? So ads keep popping up. That's YouTube, bro. YouTube done changed their ads on here, apparently. I don't know. I don't control it. I don't control it. I mean, granted, I it makes sense. I mean, I don't charge for my live streams to put you guys on here. If you're watching TV, if you're watching NFL Network or a football game, there's going to be ads. It doesn't cost you anything, I guess. But YouTube controls that. I don't control that. Unfortunately. But that's YouTube. That's YouTube, guys. But yeah, it's another game with Burns, 0 sacks. I mean, he had a sack last game. Burns had the sixth highest double team rate amongst edges. Y'all standards, man. Y'all got some high standards. Y'all got some high standards. Y'all got some high standards. Yeah, no one can cover Tyreek Hill. It's impossible. Defense could be better, but it's fine for what we are. They get some stops. We just got to be better overall, better offensively. We need better talent. We just don't have a lot of talent on this team, guys. I think hopefully that's slowly but surely starting to be evident. We don't have a lot of talent on this team. But the turning point in the game, man, was that fake punt. I thought Laviska personally, now, I mean, full disclosure, it could have been a better pass. Johnny could have put it on him. Laviska had to kind of turn around and flip, and that kind of slowed him down half a step. But Laviska's, 220 pounds? I thought Laviska should have lowered his shoulder instead of trying to dance. Laviska shouldn't have danced. He should have just lowered his shoulder and tried to get it. It was close. His foot kind of hovered over out of bounds. It was tough. I don't mind Frank calling it. I actually like Frank calling that right there because Hecker is very efficient on his conversions. He can throw with the best of them in terms of punters. I don't mind that, but it is what it is. Shit buffer. Video was buffer. I had to switch cameras. Yeah, I had to switch cameras. But yeah, I thought that he should have just lowered the shoulder. I thought Laviska should have lowered the shoulder. Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Luke Cage said it too. He was like, they need better players. We need more talent. And they need to spend, tackling has been a problem for years. Tackling has been a problem for years. Has been a problem for years, man. Years. We got to get better at tackling, man. He said Mingo nickname is the Invisible Man. Yeah, we need more talent. It's been a reality check that we're just not that good of a football team, man. We don't have a lot of great players. We do enough to keep it close at times, but we don't have a lot of depth and good players to finish a game strong. And that's just the way it is. The sooner y'all come to grips with reality, the better off we'll be. And we just ain't got the horses. We ain't got the horses in the stable, y'all. We don't. We don't have the horses in the stable. But they were good early. Like I said, somebody said raise the banner. Raise the banner. Let me see if I can find that tweet. Raise the banner. Somebody raise the banner. Let me find that picture. Raise the banner. I gotta catch up on Twitter. I'm so behind. I'm trying to find a picture. Dang. Where's it at? Give me a second. Sorry, y'all. I'm still here. Here you go. This is our claim to fame. This is our only win for today. This is when we talk about moral victories. This is moral victories. Raise the banner in the Raptors. Raise the banner in the Raptors. Raise it in the Raptors, guys. We led Miami, the number one offense in the league, 14-0 in the first quarter. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. I'm pulling any kind of win we can get because Bryce Young improved, and we led 14-0 in the first quarter. We had the NFL on notice for 15 minutes. Maybe 20. We blew the lead in about 20 minutes. We had the NFL on notice for about 20 minutes. 20 minutes. So raise the banner in the Raptors. Raise it. You got to laugh through the pain, guys. Laugh through the pain. You got to take any W as they come. Any W as they come. Raise the banner in the Raptors. Raise it. Oh, man. This is funny. I saw that on Twitter, and I laughed. I died laughing. But yeah, we got to get weapons, guys. We got to get weapons. And Nate said something earlier. Let me get back to Nate's comment. He said something earlier. This was a good point by Nate. He said it's hard to get pressure on Tua. He said it's hard to get pressure on Tua. They scheme to help him get rid of the ball fast and roll him out the pocket. Miami made for quarterbacks like Tua and Bryce. And I think people, and I didn't want to believe it. And I never was a Tua hater, but I think that Bryce and Tua's trajectory are very the same. They have a ceiling when you don't have weapons around them. But if you have weapons around them, they're poised enough to read and be accurate and get those guys to ball, and you can run an offense and you can win with them. You need speed around them. You need yak guys. You need guys when they catch it across the middle, they're out of there. Because Bryce is putting this on people's chest, hitting guys in the face when they're crossing the middle. Deep ball accuracy could improve at times. But he's hitting these guys in stride across the middle. We just don't have the guys with the juice to make defenses pay. Miami went out, drafted Waddle, doubled down and got Tyreek Hill, tripled down and got Raheem Mostert, quadrupled down and got Mike McDaniel. Mike McDaniel understands the game of football different than other guys out there. I listened to his interview on The Pivot. Mike McDaniel says that he goes to every position on defense in certain coverages and scenarios. What are they trying to take away? If the DN is trying to keep contain away and the flat defender is trying to prevent this or the third to happen, or he doesn't want anybody to get outside of him, you use what they're trying to do against them. If the last thing they want to do, like cover 3 or something like that, is get beat deep, you use that to their advantage. If cover 4, they want to get deep but have cushion, but the safeties are going to be the force defender to come downhill, you influence them and take advantage of what they want to protect the most. They just understand football different than some guys. Frank Reich is really a dinosaur in comparison to some of these innovative guys. And Frank Reich's play calling was better today, but he's almost like a dinosaur compared to some of these young dudes in the NFL calling plays. And I think Bryce needs somebody innovative. And I think Thomas Brown personally could be that guy at some point. But here we are. But I think Bryce and Tua's trajectory are a lot more parallel than some think. And I love the words that Tua gave him after the game, saying that the criticism and the media is going to be heavy early on. And Tua went through that himself. A lot of people criticized Tua, saying his arm wasn't there. Couldn't throw deep. Injury prone. Battled through that. He's on an MVP trajectory right now. Bryce Young, he's getting hate from inside his own fan base. Many people in national media are preying on Bryce Young to fail because he's an outlier. He's 5'10", barely over 200 pounds. They don't want this type of guy to be outside of the prototype and make it okay for those type of guys to play quarterback. He's outside of what people are used to. He makes people uncomfortable. If he ends up working out, all those pre-draft notions that you have about certain guys, they go out the window. So people are scared of Bryce Young. They're scared of Bryce Young's success. So they're going to hate on him regardless. So I think that their trajectory are a lot more married than we want to believe. And I think they are a similar type of quarterback in terms of what they can bring to the table and just their trajectory and what they can do. If Bryce Young turns up to be Tua once we get him weapons, I'm cool. I'm good. I'm good. CR say drinking Yingling. So they cut JB for our boys 2 times in the game. But we'll break down the film. Okay, so we will break down. Damn, this became a trash. So we will break down the film for bye week. Bye week, I'm gonna try to collab a lot. I'm planning on collabing a lot. I'm gonna do the podcast will be back. I will be giving my honest thoughts. It won't be X's and O's. I'll be giving my honest thoughts on the team, David Tepper, Frank Wright, the front office, all back there on that couch. That couch back there, I'll be doing it back there. So I'll be bringing the podcast back, the Panther Banter podcast. If you're not subscribed, look into the description for the Panther Banter podcast. Audio will be going out first. When I do audio podcast, I do a question. There will be a giveaway. It's been a while since I did an episode, but somebody won the giveaway before. He will be winning and getting his free merchandise. I will be giving away free Panthers merchandise. Y'all know how fresh I stay with the Panthers gear. So I'll be giving away Panthers gear for the audio listeners. It's simple Panther trivia. The Panther trivia before was named 3 quarterbacks in team history. That has a single-digit number. That's all you had to do. But the fact that some of y'all don't listen to audio, it was only a 2-man race. So if you want some free stuff, pretty much, listen to the audio when it comes out. But I will be more consistent with the podcast. Podcast will be coming out. A lot of bye week stuff to assess where the team is, where I'm projecting to go after that, breaking down Bryce Young, breaking down some guys on defense. Make sure you subscribe to the Patreon to get those in-depth breakdowns and the draft prospect breakdowns. There's a lot of great receivers in college football. We're going to get a great receiver in the top of the 2nd round next year's draft. I'm super excited about that, but I'm focused on this year too. So I got one hand in the draft, one hand there. So pay attention there. I will be collabing a lot. Panthers Post I will be collabing with. I'm going to try to collab with Carolina Vibe as well. We've been talking to try to get something there. I'm going to try to get some guys together as well. Try to get some maybe for JD for 4-man rush. We're going to try to do a joint film breakdown together. So be ready for that. I'm really excited about this bye week. We got a lot of time in between. I'm going to try to keep y'all fed with content in the meantime, between time. Make sure you guys are subscribed. If you have not, I appreciate y'all tuning in. I got to get up out of here. I'm hungry and my mouth is watering, but it's dry at the same time, which is weird. I think it's the beer. Regardless, I'm out of here. Peace.